Industrial investment promotion policy, which is particularly focusing on textile and leather. So we just want to know a little bit from yourself.
So, thank you. Bihar government has recently, 2022, we have come up with a new policy on textile and leather. The policy, in addition to other incentives which are given to all sectors, so the general incentives are interest subvention, then state GST reimbursement and stamp duty exemptions, registration fee exemption. Apart from that, the new policy gives a capital subsidy of 15%. So if whatever is the capital investment, a 15% subsidy is given. The most significant incentive, I think, is the employment subsidy that government gives up to rupees 5,000 per employee per month for a period of 5 years to the unit. So if the unit is giving, say, 15,000, then government will give 5,000 out of that every month to the unit. And the third thing which the government is giving to textile is power subsidy of 2 rupees per unit. So this is a new policy which has come in 22 and which is applicable. The applications are can be given till June 23.
So for the policy, what are the specific criteria that company needs to be complied with, or the company needs to be capable of to participate in the policy?
So any unit or any company which wants to put up a unit in textile or leather, they can participate. The employment subsidy is available for units which are more employment oriented. So for example, garmenting or product manufacturing, textile product so it's a very simple format. They just have to apply online and we give clearance immediately. And then the government is also giving a lot of infrastructural support. So for example, we are creating 24 lakh square feet of industrial sheds. They are ready-made sheds of 50,000 square feet each. So companies who don't want to invest in land or buildings, they can take these sheds on rent. And the rent has been kept very low, from rupees 4 to rupees 8 per square feet per month. And the companies can simply come with their machines and start production. So that is one thing. Then we are also giving land. If somebody wants land, we are also giving land. And the land cost, the government has reduced up to 80%. So the general land cost in Bihar are quite high because of the density of population, but government has given specific discounts for industry. Apart from that, the main attraction for Bihar, I would say, is that we have got a huge pool of skilled resources. Because you go to any cluster in India, you will find about 50% people, workers from Bihar. So these people now want to come back to Bihar and they are all skilled. So skilled manpower is a big plus. Apart from that, water and power is another plus. We are a power surplus state. We are a water surplus state. So and then we are giving land, infrastructure, everything. The government is fully with the industry, and all clearances are given through single window. So I think anybody who wants to set up a textile unit in Bihar, they will find it a very smooth and good experience.
So when you talk about the industrial sheds or the land, the main issue for the majority of the companies or in the majority of land in India, basically it's that it is the connectivity with the other areas like logistics there, like air transport, and also with the connectivity with the maritime ports. So about these lands, how feasible are they in terms of logistics?
So that's a very good question. Connectivity wise, Bihar has one of the best logistical network. So there are 4-lane and 6-lane highways which are crisscrossing the state from north to south and from east to west. And there are many new highways under construction by National Highway Authority. So connectivity wise, by road it is very good. The eastern dedicated freight corridor is passing through the state. There are 3 airports within the state and 4 airports on the border. So there are total 7 airports which are catering to the state. And you don't have to travel more than 2 hours to reach an airport in the state. So I think connectivity wise we are pretty good. We have 75 industrial areas where we are developing these sheds in 10 industrial areas, and all of them are very well connected both by road, by train, and not more than 2 hours from the nearest airport.
So when we talk about like the promotion policy, it is for the future, and also in your brochure that is said that Bihar weaving future is new future is weaving. So what about from your perspective, how is the future looking for the industrial Bihar?
I think the future is very bright, and as I say that Bihar perhaps is the only state which can give real competition to other countries which are doing well in textile, specifically garmenting or textiles. So Bihar, because of its resources in terms of manpower, water, power, land and everything, we are in a very good position to give competition to Vietnam or Bangladesh and develop as the next textile cluster or hub. We already have a big textile bag cluster in Muzaffarpur. It is, I think, perhaps the biggest bag cluster in one place. And God willing, we will be a big textile hub in coming time.
So when we talk about the future, so there are like many concerns within the industry regarding the environmental policies of the state and as well as the country. Also there are concerns about the policies or the licensing agreements with the state when the factories are shifting from one state to another, or in like many our Indian garment manufacturers also are importing from Bangladesh as the major garmenting hub is there. So is there any plan or in the terms in the policy that can help the industries shift their manufacturing to the Bihar with the most easy way and the most feasible way from the perspective of the industry and as well as the corporate profitability in the general?
So there are two things you have asked. The first is about environmental requirements. So obviously anybody who puts up a unit has to follow the country's law. However, we in the state government and the Bihar Industrial Area Development Authority provide all help for all the units to process the requirements. So that is there, and I don't see any significant problem in getting environmental clearances in the state. On the second thing about relocating the units, so our policy also applies if somebody is relocating their plant to the state. So that is the same benefits are there. And moreover, we have a investment promotion team. So we assign one person to each unit, and he leads them and he guides them and he supports them in getting all the clearances. So the company or the unit doesn't have to go to different departments. They just interact with the industries department and we get all the clearances done from the state government.
So in terms of the foreign direct investment, majority of big brands like Louis Vuitton, or there are luxury brands also, and there are common brands like Max also, they source from the manufacturing abroad from their like primary residence of the country. Like US brands are sourcing from China, Italy. So are there any plans that can promote the industries in the India or in Bihar that can generate that quality of manufacturing within the country and supply to the big brands outside the country?
Of course. So when we are developing or we are promoting textile, it is not only domestic market. In fact, I am happy to say that there is already a leather apparel manufacturer who has started construction on a 10 acres plot of land, and he is investing 110 crores of rupees, and he is a 100% export oriented unit. Right now they are in Delhi, NCR. They have 4 units there, and they are basically putting up a big facility in Bihar. So one of the requirement for export these days is one is big. You need big land because of the compliance issues. Second is sustainability, and then third is requirements like gender sensitivity and all of that. So in Bihar we can do all of that because we are promoting involvement of women workforce. So there's a government organization called Jivika. We are training women so that the workforce can be predominantly women in garmenting. And then sustainability, we are making the best possible buildings and all of that. So I think Bihar will be a very good place to export, and all requirements will be met.
So, as we are in the TechnoTex, it is majorly focused on technical textile, primarily focused on technical textile. So, if some technical textile company wants to set up their manufacturing unit in Bihar, but there has to be like institutional buyer from the government, so they can supply directly from within the state and have to like.
Bihar government has recently taken up a decision that in all government procurements, we will give price preference to units which are in the state. So in all government tenders, 2% price preference will be given for large industries and 7% for MSMEs. So through this mechanism, we are promoting that you should manufacture in the state. So whoever puts up a unit in the state will not only get purchase preference, but they will also get price preference. And I think that will become a big point for people to put up units in the state.
So we have heard about the success story of Muzaffarpur and Cheripattanam in the state. So are there any policies or in the terms in the policies that can promote such clusters so that the many like residential workers can get the job in the near to their hometown and don't have to like relocate or migrate to another state or in fact within the state?
Yeah, exactly. So all our policies and measures, we are trying to replicate the same successful models. So we are not only developing in textile, but we are also promoting the same model in food processing, because Bihar has big food processing potential. So we are trying to develop this same model of a anchor investor-led small industries model in food processing, textile, leather. And I'm sure that in coming times, more and more people from Bihar who are working outside, they will return to the state.
So last question, what is your message to the investors who are willing to invest in Bihar?
My message to the investors will be that please come, just come once to the state. What I see is that many people have different perceptions about state and they have never visited the state. So please come once to the state, explore the opportunities, and then we are there to support you. And then if you think that it is a good place to invest, then you can invest. But first you should come to the state.